Hey there, welcome back. It's just another day. I've got yet another good one for you. So your favorite restaurants are turning more and more into tech businesses rather than just food businesses. Chains from Taco Bell to Starbucks are experimenting more and more with AI and trying to enhance your experience. So we'll get into it here. So what they're trying to do is improve efficiency, protect their margins, and drive traffic. So everything is managed, everything is analyzed and studied. They're trying to figure out better ways to get you in and to spend as much as you can every time. But there's a balance between cutting edge tech and hospitality focused service. I remember when McDonald's first started coming out with these kiosks, and it's just frustrating. It's just removing the human interaction. I used to take my daughter to McDonald's every Friday, just kind of a little moment before she went off to school. This is through high school, and so every Friday we'd go and get breakfast. We'd get like maybe a biscuit or something, and I would always get the same thing. And at the time, I didn't like egg on my sandwich, and trying to deal with the cashier trying to explain I just wanted a sausage McMuffin with cheese, no egg. Half of the time I would get an egg on it still. Another percentage, it wouldn't even be a McMuffin, it would be a biscuit instead or something. And most of the time they would have difficulty even trying to figure out what to put into the system. And it got a little bit easier later. I think whatever I would order was actually on the menu. They just had to find it. But it was usually pretty comical because dealing with a person, and if it wasn't a glowing button in the middle to push, they had difficulty with it. So they're trying to put these interactive kiosks more and more into a lot of fast food. And at the time I didn't like it. I didn't like that they were pushing people maybe out of jobs. I didn't like the fact that I was now having to enter something. Once I started getting better at it, I was able to just go in and boop, 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 and done. And now, we order ahead on an app, usually Chick-fil-A. I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time, but Chick-fil-A, order it ahead on the app. When you get there, you just scan it through the drive-through and they have it ready for you. It's pretty amazing how it works now. But McDonald's had the Experience of the Future initiative, which expanded the rollout of in-restaurant kiosks and app-based ordering. Chipotle's Autocado, I've never heard of this before. So I guess it automatically cuts and peels avocados. That's kind of cool. I enjoy this tool I bought that looks sort of like, I don't even know what to call it, but it cuts slices of avocado perfectly. You have one end that's a plastic knife and it cuts it in half. It has a little thing that you can stab into the heart of the avocado to pull it out. And then the other side has this thing with tines, and you just slice through the avocado. It makes all these perfect slices. So I guess that's what they have. So doing that automatically instead of having a person do it and making their guacamole. So Starbucks, generative AI tool for baristas called Green Dot to provide real-time support inside stores. And so I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the complex orders and the stream of stuff coming in. So they're building these internal AI copilots, re-architecturing their data systems and operating the restaurants like interconnected tech platforms. So the mothership at headquarters is just monitoring all this information. I think it would be really helpful in the fact that it really provides a real-time look at what they have on hand for supply, getting things shipped to stores without having to rely on a manager to go ahead and order stuff. Amir Hutta, CEO of restaurant tech company Q, told Business Insider, for fast, casual, and quick service brands, a restaurant is both a retail storefront and a manufacturing center. So he gets that they're making things in one room where the product expires in 30 minutes or less. They're trying to stay ahead of the onslaught of orders coming in and trying to get people in and out quickly. And if you've ever been to a fast food, quote, restaurant where you're waiting 20, 30 minutes, you start getting impatient. Americans are so used to things getting put together and out the door very quickly. We've been to some restaurants where there's nobody in the restaurant and we place an order and we're standing there for 20 minutes or more. Like, what is happening? Why is it taking so long? So I guess this is hopefully helping to improve the experience with things like that, make things a little bit faster. Consumers are more price sensitive. Labor costs are up. Delivery and mobile orders now flow in from multiple channels at once. Restaurants are fighting to protect both traffic and margins. So one of the things that they didn't really mention in this mix is all the DoorDash and Uber Eats orders, anything that comes in that the person's not there, even the person that's delivering it isn't there, so they just have to make it and have it ready for someone to come in and pick it up and take it. So there's all these orders that are just constantly pouring in. Sorry, I'm trying to navigate the dog here in my phone. She's kind of restless. So anyway, so they're trying to manage all of these orders coming in and getting them ready for when the people come into the restaurant to pick it up. So at one point, you start feeling it's not so much a restaurant, but more like a big vending machine, is what the article says. I'll link this in the description below, but it's almost more of you push a button and it rolls out of the slot that it's in to get your food. Taco Bell CEO Sean Tresvant, the chain is testing voice AI in hundreds of restaurants with a focus on improving the experience for staff and consumers. So here we are, AI with the new voices. How is that going to work? Are you going to want to go up and talk to a kiosk that talks back to you? And I just think that is the next logical step. I think that's what a lot of these companies think customers want. And I don't know if that's what we really want at this point, because if you ever get into an argument with Alexa or Siri and trying to say, this is what I want the answer to, and it comes back, I don't know how to do that. I just envision some problems. I know it's getting better, but we'll see. GoTo Foods, parent companies of brands including Auntie Anne's, Cinnabon, Jamba, and McAllister's, the CEO, Omer Gajal, told Business Insider the company is investing in unified point-of-sale systems and customer data platforms to better segment and re-engage guests. So they're dumping a ton of money. They think this is the direction that everybody's going. AI tools are being carefully layered in, he added, to improve operations before reshaping the guest experience. If you've ever been to Panera, and I like their soups, and you go to order a specific soup, and of course we're out of it today. We don't have any more because they only do a certain amount every day, or a specific sandwich, and sorry, we're out. So I can see how AI is going to help to some extent to calculate demand, but it's never going to be perfect. But maybe they think this is going to improve that experience so that when you arrive, they'll have what you want still. Burger King has its own internal AI system called BK Assistant, and Chief Digital Officer Thibault Rowe told Business Insider the company now uses AI to generate real-time next best actions for managers. So that flags out of stock, surfacing performance metrics, and simplifying back office work. And so again, just trying to manage the stocking, some of the other things going on, and there it sounds more like they're just trying to use it as a tool to help the manager to do his job, which really is what we should be using the computers for, not for doing it all for us. So at least there it looks like that's how the AI will be used. Mike Perry, founder of creative agency Tavern, argues that many chains are moving so aggressively towards efficiency that they risk eroding what made customers love them in the first place. If you're going all tech and no human, you're just losing brand touch points. In his view, restaurants aren't really selling food, they're selling hospitality. I kind of get that with certain places. I want people to be genuine when you come in. I want them to act like they care. A lot of food places now it just feels like the help just is miserable. And I really feel for them. I've worked in restaurants when I was in college, and it's a tough job, and especially if you're not getting tips. If you're like at a fast food place or something like that, you're just expected to deal with the public and just smile every time. People are not so nice sometimes, so I get that, but there is some level of humanity that we should expect when we go in and order. And so these tech points are taking away the human touch. And so that's what the CEO is really concerned about. And he's the one who said, you strip away too many human interactions, and you're left with what he calls a really, really fancy vending machine. And that's true. And we've seen some of these places in Japan where you order it and everything is done by robots and comes out on a conveyor belt, or the mixologist robots on these cruise ships, or in Las Vegas where you place an order and the machine makes it and you watch the robot make these drinks. So Mike Perry, he points to Chick-fil-A as a counterexample. They use a significant amount of technology behind the scenes, but they keep hospitality front and center in the drive-thru. The tech backing is really making that all function, but the front end of that is person-person hospitality. And he's exactly right. They use technology well above a lot of these other places. And I think they were one of the first ones that I can remember where they're standing outside with a little touchpad helping you place your order before you have to go up to the box and talk to it. They realized it's faster to get multiple orders going at once than just have one at a time and the line going out the parking lot. And then they started doing the double lines for a lot of these drive-thrus. So you've got two lines with people walking up and down taking orders, and they have perfected it. It is pretty amazing how well it works. They're always happy to see you when you pull in. They're always very pleasant when they bring your food out. And so they have really honed their skill using all this technology. No matter how advanced the AI gets, someone still has to make your coffee and make you want to come back. So that's where Chick-fil-A has really shined, because just about any time we're on the road, if there's a choice and there's a Chick-fil-A open, we'll probably stop there. We don't eat a lot of fast food, but if you're on a road trip, especially if it's a long trip and you don't have a lot of time to sit down for an hour, I mean, that's your go-to. Just go through the drive-thru, get my stuff, get back on the highway, and they just make it so much nicer. A lot of times we've gone into specific restaurants. I won't bash any chains, but there's a couple that we've lost 30, 40 minutes stopping to get something to take on the road, or the people were just miserable, absolutely miserable. Once in a while, there was I remember we stopped at it was like one of these big truck stop, like a Love's or a Pilot or something, and there was a Wendy's built in, and the person behind the counter was the coolest guy I've ever had the experience of dealing with. He was talking to customers, and there was a huge crowd of people waiting for the food, and the food was taking forever. But people didn't care because he was so nice and so genuine and just happy to see everyone and really engaging with every customer. It would be so nice to have more of that across the board. But let me know what you think. Is AI really going to start making things more cold and clinical? Is it going to be something that people will lose their jobs because we don't want to order from a counter from a person anymore? We just want to plug it in on a kiosk or on the app. Let me know what you think. Let me know your frustrations. And thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you again in the next one.